Hey guys, you looking to be successful at your 2018 fantasy football drafts? And we've got you covered here with the 2018 Draft Loadout with information like my guys, bust candidates, sleepers, deep sleepers, rookie splash, value candidates, and even the loadout software with over 10 years of information packed into a software app for your mobile phone, tablet, or your PC. Make sure you head over to thehateful8ff.com, click on the average donation tab, and sign up via our Patreon account.
Welcome Average Joe Nation from around the globe. Props to you for staying up to date and keeping in the know. Fantasy football, man, very soon you'll reign. The knowledge that these three guys have, man, it is insane. Fantasy football talk, hateful eight, they wear the crown. Hold it down, Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli, hold it down. Pulling up to LB Design Studio, we're getting loud. Season 2, headphones on, red light go, break it down.
All right, welcome back to the Hateful Eight Fantasy Football Podcast with your host. I'm Pickle. With me, as always, Blackburn.
What up?
And since Trimboli is out today,
Not Frank.
we went to the waiver wires and we picked up the best available for the show.
Not Italian.
No, not a
Thacker.
Thacker is back for this week,
Sup?
filling in. Yeah, so we're going to talk this week about the mock draft that we just conducted about an hour or so ago, and
It's garbage.
it was a little bad at first. It was a little rough.
I like mine.
I know you talked about that the whole time we were drafting. So,
Garbage.
all right. As always, don't forget to follow the show's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. Let's get into the fantasy news and notes.
Fantasy news and notes.
All right, fantasy news and notes presented by Body Armor Super Drink. Superior hydration for today's athletes. Check them out at drinkbodyarmor.com and your local convenience store. Oh, I missed you, buddy. First one out the gate, not a shocker, but Colts running back Robert Turbin suspended 4 games for PEDs. So if you looked at his combine pick, he looks like his arms are about the size of a tire, so it does not surprise me. Just saying.
What's your thought on that?
I'm Marlon Mack guy. We all know
I'm
that.
aware. That's why I brought it up. And there it is.
So that helps me out a lot. I like it.
I agree with you. I think that clears the way with Marlon Mack now being your clear-cut RB1 with whether it's the Wilkins or I just drew a blank. Naeem Hines figuring out who's going to be your...
You drafted him.
No, I did.
I did.
Oh, I thought
he
you
did.
did.
No,
Yeah,
he
whatever.
drafted Mack and Hines. So
My
I'm
team
just saying.
sucks. It's just a poop emoji.
It is hashtag.
Yeah.
All right, Packers running back Aaron Jones suspended for 2 games for violating NFL's substance abuse policy. This was something stemming from last year's incident that he never got apparently disciplined for. But don't worry, Roger Goodell will find you whether you're under a rock or not or out of the country.
Or if you play for the Cowboys.
Or you play for the Cowboys. He does look for that. Or the Patriots.
Yes.
But yes, so he is out for the first 2 games, and it looks like maybe that running back by committee is clearing up a little bit for the first 2 games for sure. Now with Aaron Jones out of the way, does Jamal Williams or does Ty Montgomery get the bump?
Ty Montgomery.
I like Ty Montgomery too.
Well, I think I agree with you. I think with last year he was rolling last year, and then he got hurt, and unfortunately just never got the job back. But I think with Aaron Jones being the only guy I felt like I was going to compete for him for the main amount of carries, I think Ty Montgomery is going to be your guy going forward for sure.
I like it. Plus, he's going super late.
So. This is also true. So Aaron Jones, I think this might. Do you think this hurts his ADP at all for drafts?
Aaron Jones?
Yeah. Do you think this hurts his draft a little bit?
I mean, it's only 2 games, but I'd rather have Montgomery. Anyway.
So if Montgomery goes out and shows out first 2 games, then what happens?
It's still going to be a committee.
I think it'll be a committee, but I think Montgomery will be the main bulk carrier, where I think Aaron Jones was going to be the main guy.
He catches a lot too.
Montgomery, I think they're wanting to run the ball and they're wanting to throw it a bunch too. I mean, they don't. Let's be honest. They have Adams and they have Cobb, who is dealing with a boot. I mean, on his foot, so he's injured, and they got Jimmy Graham.
That's it.
I mean, Jimmy Graham and Adams right now. So I mean, they're going to need. They got rookies, but that's about it. So who? I mean, Geronimo Allison is there, but nobody proven. How about that?
Ty Montgomery.
I'm on that. Yep. Pondering. Okay. It seems like this is just a one after another. People getting popped with PEDs. Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman is officially suspended for 4 games,
Yes.
and I'm really surprised. They must have found a loophole there at Goodell Castle through the whatever you call it, the mishandled testing.
Right.
Must have, because that's what they were initially. At least the NFL Players Association said they were hoping that they could use that since he did not. I guess since it was an unrecognized substance, but
Like we said, it's the Patriots. He's going to get you.
this is true. He's going to find you. Chris Hogan, Malcolm Mitchell, Cordell Patterson. Who do you think gets the most targets out of the absence of Edelman?
Hogan.
Okay. Do you think this helps Sony Michel
Yes.
now that he is essentially going to be
Sony Michael.
It's Michelle.
I know. Throw that out there. I can't say the guy's name right.
It's all right.
But yes, I think so.
Weird.
I was gonna say out of the running backs,
Burkhead.
I think Burkhead. I think this helps everybody,
I like
honestly, because Edelman was playing it. I mean, he is Tom Brady's BFF. So with him being gone, I think Gronk is gonna see, I think, the best
Yeah, he
out
will.
of this. I mean,
But for the other wide receivers, Chris Hogan will definitely see an uptick.
yeah. Malcolm Mitchell's finally healthy. Cordell Patterson, I still think is just gonna be a gadgets special teams guy. So we'll see. I don't know, man. That Patriots offensive line scares me. They don't have Soldier there anymore, and they moved over their right tackle to the left tackle, and
Well, they got some like 6'4" guy to be the left tackle. That's crazy.
yeah, I'm not
Soldier.
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 Anyways, I'm just saying you're bringing in that's Tom Brady's blind side, and you got a guy who's unproven, in my opinion.
Yep.
Nothing against the guy who's stepping in, but still, that's not a task you would like to be because, as we talked about earlier, if let's just say worst case scenario, guy comes around the end, Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt, somebody like that, and just destroys Tom Brady, and he's now out for the season. And
All Patriots offensive players will be garbage,
I don't know. They might be still better than the Jets, but that's neither here nor there.
except for Robbie Anderson.
This is true.
There you go.
I'll take Robbie Anderson over the Patriots post no Brady.
Me too.
All right. That's all we got. It wasn't a whole lot of news. It was just apparently people not being able to follow the NFL substance abuse policy.
Nothing much going on right now. We only got about a month until preseason starts. So
Month until
Awesome.
preseason, month till the draft
I
start.
can't get excited this year.
Really?
Why?
Not yet?
I can't do it.
Oh, well.
I am.
I say.
Because of him.
Oh, well, just don't draft near him.
What are you turning around for?
What'd I do?
Just don't draft near him. and
Okay.
You'll be okay.
Me and Blackburn have done, I don't know, 10,000 mocks in the last 3 days
Yeah.
on SleeperBot.
Yeah?
We just snipe each other's picks, and it's very frustrating from 1 to 15.
Yeah, but that's because we know what we're going to do. When we get into an actual draft with the league, it's going to be different.
True.
I think you sniped my player. You sniped a couple of them on purpose.
This is possible.
I don't know. I just do what's best for my team.
Feel like you do it on purpose.
I just do what I need
Blackburn's
to.
the type of person that he'll click a player, and when he does it, you ready for it? Here it is.
I do that.
Gives you that look.
I just want to see the reaction.
Did I get the reaction I needed? So,
Anyhow,
all right, let's go ahead and get into the main segment today. Mock Draft Mayhem presented by Fantasy Fateball.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Enough, I get the point.
This is Mock Draft Mayhem.
All right, Mock Draft Mayhem presented by Fantasy Fateball, the one and only Magic 8 Ball for fantasy football. 20 custom answers to help you make those critical start-sit decisions. End the Sunday morning agony. Head over to fantasyfateball.com. Use promo code HATEFUL8 for $5 off your purchase. All right. I drafted out of the, let's see, I drafted out of what, the 5?
Yes.
Okay, so we did a 10-man half-point PPR, and it was the standard. There was no super flexes or 2 QBs or anything like that. So standard 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. And then, what was it? It was 15 rounds. So
yeah. I was at the 2 spot. You were at the 5. Thacker was at the 8.
the 8th spot. So should be interesting.
Terrible. Terrible idea.
It started out well. I was happy about my team, and then by about round 7, I started feeling like I was on the Titanic and I hit the iceberg. So
Well, I mean, when you draft a suspended running back as your running back 2,
true. It's okay.
Well, that's up to you. I was going to take him, but
I know you're
Well,
going
we'll get
to,
into that.
'cause I sniped your pick.
All right. So the first round. Why don't you, since you've got the board
The
up,
first pick was David Johnson.
which is surprising. I've not seen David Johnson go first overall in all the mocks I've been doing. I've seen him at the earliest, like 3rd overall.
Yeah. So at number 2, I was very elated to see Todd Gurley sitting there. So I took him.
Yeah. Well, usually he goes like 1-2. He doesn't make it
Right.
out of past the second pick.
And then number 3 was Zeke. Number 4, Le'Veon Bell. And then number 5 went to Pickle.
I ended up taking Hopkins. I know everybody's going to be upset. They're like, why didn't you take Brown or why didn't you take Kamara? I'm really high on Hopkins this year.
He is.
I am a
Shocker.
I am Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious. It's ride or die with Watson. So
Ride or die.
just saying,
Terrible movies.
too Fast
Except
and
the
Furious.
first. I like the first one.
True.
They're great. All of them.
Pre or post Rock when he joined.
All of them. Even Tokyo Drift.
I hate nope.
No,
Turn his mic off. Cut.
I can't do Tokyo
Cut.
Drift.
Where's the producer guy?
Like they tried to make it good by bringing in Vin Diesel at the very end.
Yeah, but Han was in it.
This is true. I guess it started the
Aw.
group. So
Yeah.
all right, who
Next.
did you take in your the 8th overall pick at in the first round?
Well, what? You took DeAndre, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara. That's who I wanted. I thought
Kamara
for
you
sure.
did?
Yes. But no. Pretty upset about it. I took Antonio Brown
Pretty upset.
I don't know why you're upset.
I got Antonio Brown.
because
I'm
I
a little
like
upset.
running backs.
I get it.
I know.
However, Antonio Brown's not a bad pick at the 8 spot.
True. I mean,
I feel like it could have been better.
I'll tell you this: at the 5 spot where I was drafting, I'll be honest with you, I thought I was going to get an option of David Johnson or Antonio Brown or Hopkins was the 3 I thought. I didn't think that I was going to have to basically choose between Hopkins and Kamara, but
I would have took Kamara.
I was going back and forth between Kamara and Hopkins, but I ended up just picking Hopkins.
That's what I wanted. He didn't fall. I took Antonio Brown. Then what? We had Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt.
Finish out the first round.
Yep. So it snakes back. Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon. So my wait to get Melvin Gordon on the comeback didn't work either.
So he didn't get Kamara or Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. So at this point, I was like, we're going 0 running backs.
Fair enough. At that point,
So
he made
who'd
the
you take?
decision.
OBJ.
OBJ. Brown
So-
and OBJ. That's not bad.
Not bad to start your
PPR.
draft out.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially in a 10-man league, that's not bad.
I like it.
All right, so then came back around to me, and I ended up in the second round taking Adams. So Devontae Adams was my second pick because the running backs that were sitting there, I wasn't really high on those running backs going into it, and I thought I could get the guy that I ended up getting in the third at that point as well. So it worked out. So who did you?
When it's my turn, Julio, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen were already all gone.
I think Devonta Freeman was the best running back, and I just felt like
Yeah.
Devonta Adams was better in my opinion. But
Yeah. Well, I went ahead and took A.J. Green. I needed a receiver. A.J. Green was best available, so I took him. LaShawn McCoy was the last pick of the second round. First pick in the third round, Gronk.
Weird.
What?
I don't like taking tight ends that high.
Gronk's consistently going in the third round.
I know, and I don't like the tight end going that early. I've never been one to do it. I don't like it.
Oh, I understand. I agree with you. I mean, let's be honest, though. Gronk is now going to be elevated probably to that third or second round because of Edelman gone for 4 games.
Right.
I get it, but to me, that's a position you could draft another big receiver, another stud running
I
back.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
You can wait and get a tight end later. You can stream tight ends all season.
I mean, it's your personal preference because,
Yeah.
I mean, he's done it with the quarterback positions. There's guys like Trimboli does not draft quarterbacks before, like, round, 8, where
Trimboli
you
doesn't
have no
draft
problem.
defenses or kickers, and he adds them before week 1, like an hour before lineup.
This is true. Where you have no problem taking Aaron Rodgers in the 3rd or 4th round.
Absolutely not.
So it's like I said, it's all your personal preference, and I'm not an early tight end guy like that either. I think the earliest I've ever drafted a tight end was Kelsey, and
It was in the second round.
no, it was like the
crazy.
4th round. I took him in the 4th round. So, and that's, I mean, I think that's where I feel comfortable taking any tight end, like one of the top 3.
the top tier was, yeah.
Right. So, but I think Gronk's ADP is going to start rising now that you don't have Edelman for sure for the first 4 games.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you know.
After Gronk, it was my pick again. I picked Jordan Howard. So now I got Todd Gurley, A.J. Green, Jordan Howard for the first 3 rounds.
Not bad. I mean, you got 2 good running backs. I mean, you got a solid running back in Gurley. You got a good running back too for sure in Jordan Howard, and then you've got the only, let's be honest, the only option besides Mixon in that Bengals offense.
Right. And then the next 2 picks were Jerick McKinnon and McCaffrey.
Got John Ross. He's going to show out this year.
1 catch,
Okay.
1 fumble. Jerick McKinnon, Christian McCaffrey.
Rocky start.
And then now Pickle. What'd you pick?
I ended up taking the only other option, in my opinion, in the Bengals offense, which is Mixon. So,
Boom. I like it.
He is my running back 1. I'm not normally I don't draft him as my RB1. It's normally an RB2, but there wasn't any other running backs at that point, and the wide receivers that were sitting there weren't the best in my opinion.
Well, they're all grouped together at this point.
Right. So I don't know. I kind of rolled with a running back. I just felt like I didn't want to get too far behind the 8 ball and be scrambling to try to grab a running back.
The fate ball?
The fate ball.
Ooh.
So there you go. See, play on words.
I get it.
I get
See
it.
what you did there.
All right, so I drafted Mixon. Who did you draft? Or who were the picks after that?
Let's go with Adam Thielen, Mike Evans. Boom, boom.
Okay, so 2 wide receivers right out there.
I have no running backs. I have OBJ and Antonio Brown. So you know what I did?
You drafted a receiver.
Doug Baldwin.
There it is. Hey, he is the main guy there in Russell Wilson's offense in Seattle for sure. I mean, they really don't have. They don't have Jimmy Graham anymore. They're going to probably run the ball in some fashion with Rashad Penny, but that's about it. And, I mean, Russell Wilson's going to throw the ball a ton to him. That's what he's shown. I mean, Lockett's your deep ball threat, and outside of that, I'm not too impressed with the guys that are in that offense. So
Penny, that's about it.
Yeah.
So then closing out, what round are we in? Oh, third. So closing out the third round, we had Darius Geis, Tyreek Hill were the next 2 picks after that.
That's still too high for Tyreek Hill.
I don't know what that.
So he went in the
offense is
4th
gonna
round
be.
or 5th
Third.
round?
Tyreek Hill was the end of the
Last
third
pick
round.
of the third.
Last pick of the third.
That's where his ADP is, though.
I know.
I mean, it's consistently in that mid to late 3rd round. I mean, I think the earliest or the latest I think I've ever seen him was like the early 4th round.
Well, what?
Right.
But we looked his stats up last season. This is recently, like within the last week. We looked up his last season
For
stats.
last show that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah, you go ahead, though.
No, I don't. Oh, you're good.
No,
No, that's
Derailed the train. Thanks,
go ahead.
buddy. I forgot what I was talking
No, I'm
about.
saying that's why
I've
we
had a
looked
long
up-
layoff
that's
here.
why
I
we-
got fired, guys. Okay, they fired me, and they replaced me with somebody who doesn't talk. I don't understand it.
No, that's why
God.
that's why we were looking the stats up was for last week's show.
What were we talking about? Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
yes.
But he's just boomer bust. I know what we were talking about. It was a joke. But yes, he's very boomer bust. I don't like it. I don't know about Patrick Mahomes. I'm out. I'm out on Tyreek Hill. I don't know.
Same.
Well, yeah. We talked about
like
he
it.
had how many games I think he had. It was like
10 games under 10 fantasy points.
Yeah, but then the other 6 games
Well,
were
the
like
oth-
30.
Well, yeah, he had 4 of them where it was 20 plus,
yeah.
and 2 of them were 30 pluses.
he was
Because what he finished, number 5, I think, 5 or
was-
6.
he was in that top
last
8.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean, 4.
still.
I think he was 4.
4?
Yeah,
I thought Adams was 4.
no.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
All I know is that you got Tyreek Hill and you got Sammy Watkins, who are essentially going to be doing. I mean, I think Sammy Watkins is going to have more opportunities. It's just Watkins and his health. Hill is going to carry a lot of double team, double coverage. I guess you could say the safety and
so
the
fast.
He is, but that
is
only.
Watkins.
But that doesn't help when you got a safety waiting 5 yards over the top.
When are you drafting Watkins this year? I know you're going to do it.
If he falls to me, the earliest I will draft him is probably like the 7th round.
That's his ADP is 7.
YouTubers?
Just remember.
Josh knows what that means.
Just remember. Remember this moment. So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
He'll draft him in round 5.
He had him. He'll hit the nitro in several games, but outside of that, he was just kind of cruising, idle, if you want to call it that. All right, so 4th round. Who did you end up taking?
Let's see. So we had Tyreek Hill. We had Travis Kelce to start the 4th round off.
See, that's a comfortable
Aaron
spot.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
So I finally drafted a running back.
There you go.
J.I.
I like
Ja. Yeah. However you say his name.
J.J.
No, you're good.
That one. Yep.
Ajayi.
I mean, that's pretty consistent with his
That guy.
ADP. I like Jay's potential. I just get concerned about the health of the knees.
Well, that and it's kind of a crowded backfield.
Well, it is, but he was
they-
the best available, and
yeah.
you needed a running back.
And they said he was going to be the guy.
Boom.
That's the thing. They've been saying he's going to be the guy, and I don't know, man. But you had to take a running back at that point. You can't go much farther into the draft.
I could have took another receiver.
You could have,
I mean, you could have.
but all right. So the 4th round came back around to me in the middle of the 4th, and I took Stephon Diggs because I felt like I needed another wide receiver, not a running back, because the running backs that were there were who was it? Was it Mark Ingram was in there?
Yeah.
The running backs, you had Derrick Henry, Alex Collins, Drake, Penny, Lamar Miller, and Mark Ingram were all sitting there.
Yeah, so I felt like Diggs was the best available, so I went ahead and took him because I figured I could get another one of those running backs mentioned in the 5th round. So, so finishing out the 4th round, how did the draft go?
After you took Diggs, it was Derrick Henry, Alex Collins, and then
Yep.
I took Amari Cooper, who I think is going to have a bounce back year this year.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't really do much worse.
Well, Crabtree's gone.
this is true.
Well, they got Jordy. Jordy.
Not big on Jordy this year.
That's your guy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
when he played for the Packers, yes.
But, yeah, so I took Cooper. And then to end the 4th round was Kenyon Drake. Start the 5th round, Brandon Cooks. And then I
Fat-fingered the draft.
I fat-fingered it here. I was going to take Mark Ingram, but I accidentally pressed Deshaun Watson, which it's not too hateful. I'll roll with that as my quarterback.
What round was that? The 5th?
5th round.
That's pretty much his ADP.
So I'll take Deshaun Watson right there. And then after that was Rashad Penny, Zach Ertz, and then Pickle picked.
All right, so the running backs that I was looking at to potentially come back were Alex Collins, Rashad Penny, and Lamar Miller. And Lamar Miller was the only running back out of that group still left, so I knew I needed to take another running back. So I took Lamar Miller in the 5th round, and I felt like that's a good spot for him because he is the running back 1 regardless of what you want to talk about. And Deonta Foreman is probably going to be gone for the first couple games because on the PUP with the ACL injury or the Achilles injury that he's still healing up from. So, I mean, Alfred Blue is the only guy that's going to be competing with him. And Deshaun Watson, when he was in, Lamar Miller was the guy. And he was the number 11 running back through those 6 games. So,
yeah. And I benched him every time he put up 20. And then when I played him, it was like 6.
Hey, you know what? It happens.
7.
It does happen. So, coming back to the end of the 4th or end of the 5th round, who did you end up taking?
Mark Ingram as my RB2. He's suspended the first 4 games.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? After those first 4 games, he'll be back, and then you've got a solid RB2. So, and that's not a problem. It's
well, I mean, the running backs there, what was it? It was Ingram,
yeah.
Royce Freeman,
Okay.
Ronald Jones.
So it's Ingram for missing 4 or a rookie?
Yeah.
Who
so
there's uncertainty
I would
with.
bite the bullet for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Draft a good
Especially
PPR.
when you drafted Brown, Odell Beckham,
Exactly.
and Baldwin. You could throw
So-
Baldwin in your flex.
Well, I'm talking about my RB2 spot. I would just roll with somebody,
yeah.
whoever, didn't matter. And then week 5 rolls around, boom, got him.
Right.
Like
Well, I mean, and then like we said, you've got the running back 1B or 1A, depending on how you want to look at it, depending on how Kamara is doing when he gets back. I mean, in that offense last year, I mean, there was times where you could have started Ingram and Kamara on the same roster.
I would
And got 60 points between
Right.
2 of them.
So, I mean, they're going to use him when he comes back. It's just a matter of he's going to be the 1A or the 1B, depending on how well Kamara does. But either way, I mean, with the guys that you've got, like you said, the wide receivers you've got, and then your number 1 running back, I mean, you're not hurting for the first 4 games. How about that? So,
Yeah, that's all right.
all right. Then to wrap around the 5th to the 6th round.
Demarius
Yeah.
and Juju. Closing
I
it out.
like Juju.
I like Juju too.
I'm on board with the Juju Smith hype. I still think it's going to be interesting to see how Big Ben does with that much. I mean, last year we thought it was going to be Martavis, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, and Martavis Bryant never really did anything, unfortunately. But Juju ended up showing up and doing what we thought Martavis might have the opportunity to do. So I'm on board, though. I like Juju Smith going forward, and I mean, I just hope that his ADP doesn't continue to rise because it has. I mean, it's just continue like every couple of days it goes up a pick or two, and I mean, that's the thing I've watched. His is the most significant jump, honestly.
We've done a couple where he's went in the 4th or late 3rd.
I would say I've seen him go in the 3rd.
Yeah, if there's a run on receivers, he's going early. So
I don't like him as my wide receiver 1. How about that? Like, if I go running back, and then he's sitting in the 3rd, I can't draft him in the 3rd as my wide receiver 1.
I mean, it depends on what running backs you got.
This is also true, but I mean,
I would. There's always trades, man.
It is true.
Trading
That's true.
season is always open. Come see
don't
Blackbird.
Don't feed the troll.
All right.
Oh boy.
So so you took who in the 6th round? You said.
Well, 6 to start 6 was Golden Tate, Royce Freeman.
Did you
All
take
the
a quarterback yet?
No.
No.
This is where I drafted my quarterback,
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady in the 6th. All right.
Yeah.
The
Go.
GOAT. Hashtag Aaron Rodgers, real GOAT. Anyway,
Fake goat.
yeah, I took Tom Brady because out of the mocks that we've been doing, 6th, 7th round is usually where the run on quarterbacks start.
Yeah.
And since my running backs right now are kind of like
Iffy.
poop, I was like, I'll get a good quarterback.
Might as well while you got a chance.
So,
right.
So, not a problem. All right, so 6th round, you're right. I came back around, and I ended up taking Russell Wilson as the quarterback because
There you go.
he was the best available quarterback at that point since Watson, Rodgers, and Brady were all off the board. I feel like those are the guys that you're seeing go right around anywhere from 3rd to 6th round, and then I think and I don't know where Drew Brees ended up going, but he usually has been going around 8th or 9th round consistently. Did he end up going?
Drew Brees was the first pick of the 7th round.
Okay, I was gonna say I've seen him. I've been taking him in the 8th round when I've drafted him, but still.
I don't like. I'm not a fan of Drew Brees like Drew Brees of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Minus last year.
I had him last year. He was all right. He wasn't throwing 50 times a game though.
Right.
They don't have to.
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But he still got it done when it
True.
when I needed him to.
When you need him to. All right, so
How'd your quarterback situation work out, guy?
It was going good for 6 games. And I had Deshaun Watson.
right
Then after that, it was like, oh no.
now I got to stream.
Now I have to stream quarterbacks.
All right, so 6th round. Who did you end up taking?
Russell Wilson. So we went Jarvis Landry, Jimmy Graham, and then I drafted Marvin Jones.
Yeah, that has been
At the end of the 6th
That has been
round.
the epitome of one of your guys is Marvin Jones.
And the next guy I'm gonna say is one of my guys. I got 2 guys.
We're fighting over his next 2 picks.
Marvin
All the time.
Jones was a top 5 receiver last year.
Yes.
Same offense, same everything. I think he might not be top 5 this year, but he'll be top 10.
Yeah, I have him in that wide receiver 1 talk for sure, so top 12 for sure.
Then you had Will Fuller go. Carson Wentz was the first pick of the 7th round. And then I piggybacked with Marlon Mack. That's one of my guys.
I know. Marlon Mack is
Especially with Turbin being out for 4 games, it's Mack and Himes. I mean, that's going to be the show there.
I mean, Mack's going to, I think, have the opportunity to solidify that spot that Turbin might have been able to take some carries away. But I think that as long as Mack is healthy and does what he was doing last year towards the end, I think he's going to take the job and run with it. So,
Yep. Literally.
7th round, I ended up taking Sony Michel because he was the best available running back, and I just think that the Patriots drafted him in the 1st round for a reason, and
They're going to use him.
they're going to use him in some fashion.
Deion Lewis style.
He's a younger version of Deion Lewis. He's the only problem with him and the concerns around him is the fumbling. That's their only question mark that people are throwing out there is, and Bill Belichick does not joke around with the fumbles. You fumble the ball, you go straight to the bench, and you don't see you for about
Then
4
we'll see
weeks.
lots and lots of Burkhead.
There it is.
Ask Mike Gillislee how that went when he fumbled. You didn't see him after like week 4 or 5.
It didn't matter. He had 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks, and it was over.
Yeah,
still
then he was
finished.
a healthy scratch for the season.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's called you got benched. All right, so 7th round, who did you end up taking?
well, with my suspended RB2, I took Tevin Coleman.
All right. He's going to have a role in that Atlanta offense as long as Steve Sarkisian is the offensive coordinator.
Loves his running backs.
Loves the running backs, and he's in a contract year, so of course he's going to do whatever he can to make the most money for next year.
Now,
So
see, like
why
we
not?
talked about, before you took Coleman, though, Sammy Watkins went off the board
Yes.
at 7-7.
So
4 rounds behind Tyreek Hill.
just
And it's
saying.
the same player, essentially.
You think about it. If you know Sammy Watkins is playing all 16 games, and you have the opportunity to potentially match or be within 30 fantasy points of Tyreek Hill who's going in the 3rd round, are you not going to take that chance?
I'd probably just draft Jordy Nelson.
Whatever you got to do.
Wow, I just went the other way with that.
It's whatever you want to do.
Squirrel! That's Thacker. So after Tevin Coleman, I went. Oh, go ahead. You
No,
do
it's
it.
your turn.
Huh? What?
After
Tevin Coleman.
Oh, Tevin Coleman. We had Evan Ingram and then Drew Brees to close out round 7.
All right. So
Right.
8th round.
We had Emmanuel Sanders, Corey Davis.
Seems about right.
So I took Deion Lewis.
Deion Lewis.
That's a nice pick.
Tennessee Titans.
PPR, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
They're gonna find a way to use him. They didn't pay him all that money for nothing. I mean, and that's the thing that I'm starting to look at is when these guys, for contract purposes, where's the money going? Who are they bringing in, or who are they re-signing? I mean, for teams in general, if they're bringing in like Deion Lewis, money-wise, that doesn't mean that they don't like Derrick Henry. That just means they don't think what they want to do in that offense is going to be able to be done by Derrick Henry. They want Derrick Henry to be the bruiser back, to be the short goal line, and the red zone
big
guy.
dude.
He is. He's like Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And then you got Deion Lewis, who's going to be able to stand in the backfield. He's going to be able to go out wide. I mean, he's going to be able to go in the
Cut. We got to start over now. Thanks. Appreciate it.
He's going to go in the slot a lot and play. So I mean, he's an opportunity guy. So PPR for sure. I like him at that pick. So so going through to the 8th round, I ended up taking another PPR guy and Tariq Cohen, who I think is going to be an interesting guy in that offense now that Nagy is the head coach.
Well, they're saying Nagy's lining them up, and he said, "quote unquote,"
Everywhere.
all over the field.
Hey, you know
Everywhere.
what? That is perfectly
Slot,
fine with me.
backfield, quarterback,
Hey,
tight end.
I'm all about it. It's fine because that guy's going to see enough opportunities and targets. That's fine with me. So I think Jordan Howard will still be your main back, but I think they're going to find ways to get Tariq Cohen involved in the passing game.
I like that pick a lot.
So 8th round, who did you end up taking?
And after he picked Cohen, it was Cam Newton-Garoppolo. I picked Chris Thompson. I think he's proven over the last couple of years he's a good third down back. He's PPR, so why not?
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde went at the last pick of the 8th round. First pick of the 9th round was Kerryon Johnson. And then I piggybacked with Julian Edelman, who's out for the first 4 games. But I have Marvin Jones, Cooper, and Green. Edelman will be a nice PPR receiver to carry me throughout the year.
When you can wait on him because, like you said, you've got a nice base layer of those 3 wide receivers. So, and especially if any one of them were to end up getting hurt or whatever, you have an opportunity to still plug in a guy who's going to be Tom Brady's best friend. So.
Right.
All right, so who did you end up taking in the 9th round? Was that Edelman that you took?
Yeah, that was Edelman.
Oh, I thought you took him in the 8th.
Nope, I took Chris Thompson in the 8th.
Okay, Chris
Edelman
Thompson.
in the 9th, and then it went to Thacker.
Went to me.
Or it went to you, yeah.
I ended up taking, in my opinion, the number 1 wide receiver in Washington, and that's Jamison Crowder. I think Doxson's going to be used in the games. Obviously, I think he's going to see a lot more red zone stuff.
50-50.
But I think that Crowder's going to be the guy who's going to move the chains and get down the field and get a lot of the targets. So, and in a PPR, you want a guy who's going to have plenty of opportunity for the receptions and targets. So why not?
Everything I'm hearing is Alex Smith has already got a good relationship with Jordan Reed and Jamison Crowder. That's his 2 favorite targets right now.
And only one is injury prone. So you tell me who's the positive denominator.
Jordan Reed.
Yeah, there you go.
I like both of them.
True. And Jordan Reed, if you can get him in the back end of the draft, like 11, 12, 13th rounds like that, and if he plays even half of the 16 games, I'm on board.
Spoiler alert, somebody got him in the next round.
Yeah.
So, all right, so in the 9th.
Who was it?
I don't know. Somebody.
We'll get to it.
9th round. Who did you end up taking?
Allen Hurns.
Allen Hurns, the
Volume.
current wide receiver 1 for Dallas.
We've been saying it.
So it's his show until Gallup proves differently. So why not? But
Yep. Then we had Rex Burkhead, Crowell closing out whatever round we're in.
That was 9th round.
We're finishing out the 9th round. You know what? Crowell in the 9th round is not a bad spot either. Just saying.
Technically he's the number 1, but for PPR purposes, I'd rather have Bilal Powell.
True.
Just saying.
For PPR standard, any league formats, I'd just rather not draft anybody out of that backfield.
True, but if you had to.
If I had to, I would leave the position unfilled and save myself the frustration that I suffered last season.
Where you had to figure out the running back carousel.
Yes.
So.
Oh, man, I hated it.
All right, so 9th round, you said you took
Ty Montgomery.
Ty Montgomery, the current probably RB1 for the first 2 games there in
which is
Green Bay.
great because he had Ingram, who's suspended for 4 games. Ty Montgomery's going to fill right in.
Somebody gets it.
Splits the difference. There you go.
Boom.
Good. I like it. I mean,
you got him in the 10th round. That's a steal.
I honestly forgot about him. I thought for sure
Someone
somebody
had
would have hit
drafted
him
him.
before that, but nope.
Nope.
He's mine.
I like it. All right, so finishing out the 10th round, how did it go?
Jared Goff,
Okay.
Pierre Garcon,
Okay.
Trey. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Your
cool. So then 10th round, I took Trey Burton. So, I keep going back and
His
forth with Trey.
ADP is rising slightly, too, every week.
It is, and I think that I'm comfortable with him no higher than the 9th round, but that's just me. I just think he's a guy that's going to have opportunity, but I'm not 100% sure that he's going to see. You got Allen Robinson, you got Tariq Cohen, you got Jordan Howard, Adam Shaheen's going to be figured in somehow. You still have Taylor Gabriel there. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys there, and I'm unsure of.
And they're run heavy anyway. But,
Trubisky is the question mark. How much is Trubisky going to be able to throw the ball? Are they going to allow him to open up a playbook and actually throw the ball all over the field? Or are they going to kind of I don't want to say dumb it down, but kind of give him like a minimal playbook and just say, hey, here's like 20 plays, and we're just going to let you run these 20 plays over and over. And that's it.
Well, check down, which will help Trey Burton and Tariq Cohen,
Right.
especially.
So, they're saying Trey Burton's going to be kind of like the hybrid wide receiver tight end, which is what I thought they were going to use him as. Shaheen's going to be a big red zone target, and Allen Robinson's going to be a guy that they're going to feature, obviously, in that passing game. But
Right.
we'll see. 10th round, how did you draft?
After you drafted Burton, it was Randall Cobb, Nick Chubb. I took Jordan Reed.
Yep.
There it is.
He was the best tight end available, in my opinion.
Not bad, though.
No. Then it went Delaney Walker to close out the 10th round. First pick of the 11th round was my pick. They sniped my pick. Jacksonville Jaguars defense. That's what I was going to go with. So I went with the second best defense with Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to be nasty this year with all the additions.
Should, yes.
Well, I think they will be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too much talent on that roster not to be.
I mean, the Jaguars, the Rams, and the Vikings defense are the top 3 defenses
Yes.
that continually you start seeing them. I've seen them as early as 9th round, but consistently right around that 10th, 11th round was when you start seeing the defenses start rolling.
What? Jacksonville's defense last season was what? How many points a week were they getting, like averaging you? It was over 10.
I got them last year around week 4, and they were consistently giving me between 18 and 30 every week.
It was ridiculous.
So, hey, if you can
Every single week.
that's higher than like most like RB1s and wide
That's
receiver
why.
ones.
And I think Los Angeles, the Rams, I think they and the Vikings both have the potential to be the same way.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, this might be a year where, I mean, I won't draft
It's a
them that early,
defensive year.
but you might actually see people drafting defenses.
Well,
come up early and draft
IDP
them.
leagues, I mean, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, some of those guys on that team. So, all right, 11th round. You said you took the defense, and that's when we had the Jaguars, the Rams came off the board.
Yeah, Jacksonville went first. I took the Rams right after that.
And then Cooper Kupp, C.J. Anderson, and then it was my pick, right?
Yep.
I ended up taking. I was gonna say
Robbie.
I was gonna say Anderson. We just thought. I took Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver one there in the Jets' dumpster fire of an offense that's going to be playing from behind for pretty much all year, and he's going to probably see a lot of opportunity down the field. So why not?
He lit it up last year.
I mean,
Same quarterback.
Terrell Pryor and Quincy Enunwa are your main guys.
And Nunwall's coming off a serious injury, and Terrell Pryor was wide receiver 112 last year. So have fun.
That's bad.
That's not an exaggeration. He was 112.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware.
He was a healthy
He's just
scratch.
like really upset about it.
Oh yeah. Well, he should have been better than what he was, but he got hurt early on in the season, and then they just never gave the ball back.
What were they calling him in preseason? They said Calvin Johnson was
Babytron.
Megatron. No,
it was
Optimus
something.
Pryor.
Optimus Pryor?
Something
Was
like
it
that.
Optimus
It was
Pryor?
it was something Transformers
But
related.
still,
They were comparing him to Calvin Johnson, is what they were doing.
he looked great in practice, but the field
That's
was
fantastic.
The field was totally different.
He
Apparently,
was the broken Transformer that was in the garage.
Bumblebee.
Yeah,
Bumblebee.
There you go. All right, 11th round. I took Robbie Anderson. Who did you end up taking in the 11th round?
I don't know.
Fair enough. All right.
Minnesota Vikings.
There you go. See, defense. Coming back around 12th round, who'd you take?
Cameron Brate, because
Brate.
it was in the 12th round that I realized I don't have a tight end.
He's like looking through. He's like, wait, what position have I not used yet? Oh, the tight end. Sorry.
Yeah,
I like Cameron Brate.
I do too, even though Jameis is suspended.
Well,
but
right. I mean,
still,
you got to hope that
just
maybe
pair him up with Mark Ingram in Week 5. I'll have a complete roster.
There you go.
Boom.
All right. So round 12, I ended up taking somebody who I think in PPR format is going to be useful. Corey Clement with the Philadelphia Eagles. So he's the RB2 on the depth chart right there behind Ajayi, and they used him a lot in big games and when they needed a big play. So I don't know why. In the 12th round, that's not a bad pick in my opinion, because if he does nothing, great, I'll just drop him and I'll pick somebody else up. But still, 12th round for a guy who could potentially be, I mean, kind of like a spark at different times in the game. And towards down the stretch, I mean, the Super Bowl specifically, I mean, I know that's not the fantasy season, but in the Super Bowl and the playoffs, he was like on fire. So why not? I mean, you got a guy who potentially could take the top off the defense from the running back position, because Smallwood's not doing that. They got Sproles, but I think that Sproles is going to be a limited guy. I don't think with his age and everything that they're going to want to use him to the max. So why not?
Well,
All right.
I mean, that's what it is. You said it. 12th round. At this point in the draft, if you've got the majority of your roster already filled out, you're drafting on potential at this point.
Right. It's potential upside dart throws.
So my pick in the 12th round was Kelvin Benjamin.
Hey,
Big receiver. He's the wide receiver one in Buffalo. Besides Zay Jones, he's the only receiver I can name in Buffalo. So I think he's going to get a ton of volume.
Hey, you know what? If it's either him or the defense that's getting Nathan Peterman's hot turnovers. So
right.
One of them is getting those. So
and like you said, if he doesn't produce, guess what? I'll drop him for somebody else.
Right. There'll be plenty of guys on the waiver wire that you can play on random weeks. I mean, when you get to rounds like 12 through 15, the rest of the draft, I mean, you're looking at guys that could potentially be plugged in for a week if somebody gets hurt, or it's a last minute like, hey, he didn't practice, so you're going to have to play him in your flex or something like that. Overall, most of those guys are a wait and see anyways, and it's interchangeable with the waiver wire.
Well, I use one of these roster spots as what I call my flex spot.
Yeah.
And it's for trades, it's for injuries, it's for whatever. I always have a spot where I keep open just for something like that.
All right, so 12th round, you took him, and then in the 13th round.
To finish the 12th, it was LeGarrette Blount. First pick of the 13th was DJ Moore, who that's a good pick in my opinion.
Yeah, you're getting a potential wide receiver 1 by the year end.
13.
So.
And then I drafted Nyheim Hines. I already had Marlon Mack, so I wanted to grab Hines too.
Yeah, you got his fantasy BFF there, so you wrapped it up. I mean, seriously, you took care of the backfield of question. So if Marlon Mack
was to get hurt or whatever, and they rely on Hines, kind of like Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen.
Yep, there you go. Thing. Why not? 13th round, I ended up taking another quarterback, just potential upside, Patrick Mahomes. I just think that there's a lot of question marks around him, but with my quarterback being Russell Wilson, I felt like it was either that or a tight end at that spot, and I just didn't like the tight ends that were still on the board, so I went ahead and took a quarterback with potential upside and an offense that's going to be throwing the ball a lot and potentially down a good portion of the year just because the defense is horrible. And when your defense is horrible, you're getting scored on left and right, you're going to have to start throwing the ball more. So who did you end up taking in the 13th round?
Another tight end.
Yeah.
Jared Cook.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one.
Jared Cook, Oakland Raiders. He was Derek Carr's best friend last year when everybody else was dropping the ball.
True story.
So,
We had Houston, Tyler Eifert.
Yeah.
Ravens, Greg Zuerlein. And to start the 14th was Ravens and Greg Zuerlein.
Okay.
I took Steven Gostowski.
Hey, you know what? He's
he's
a good kicker there, and I like that. I mean, at that point when you're in the 14th round, you're taking kickers probably around this point because
unless you go the no defense,
right,
no kicker, we call it the Frank.
Right. Well, the last 3 picks you draft in some fashion, if you don't take a defense, reach up and take a defense there in the later rounds like 11 through 12, you're probably taking a defense at 13, 14, or 15th, obviously. So you want to make sure you get ahead of the kickers. I mean, if you have in your mind a specific kicker you want, then yeah, this would be the point to take one. At
that point in the draft, I'm like, everybody's kind of the same. I'll just grab a kicker and not have to worry about it.
I mean, if you're not Justin Tucker, you're pretty much everybody else. So 14th round, I ended up taking Will Lutz out of New Orleans, the kicker there. He's going to be kicking at least half of his games in a dome, so why not?
Yeah.
In an offense that's high-powering and probably going to be scoring a lot. And if they don't score, he's got a leg to kick the ball and put it into the uprights.
I had him last year. Put up a lot of points.
He does, so.
I like it.
Who do you got at the 14th round?
After Lutz went, it was Los Angeles Chargers defense, Panthers defense. I picked Jake Elliott. In my opinion, he's the best kicker left.
Yeah.
After that, Matt Prater was the last pick of the 14th round. First pick of the 15th round was Sterling Shepard. Mm-hmm. And then my last pick was Alex Smith. I needed a second quarterback. It was between him and Eli, but I played the homer card here because I like his upside. He was number 4 last year.
Just so I know, where did Andrew Luck go?
Andrew Luck went in the 12th round, 12-7.
Okay, so apparently people are still not all hyped in on the Andrew Luck throwing a high school football train. So,
well, I mean, the quarterbacks that went after him were Big Ben, Patrick Mahomes, and Alex Smith.
I like Big Ben for sure over Andrew Luck.
I drafted Andrew Luck last night in a mock that we did with the last pick, 15th round, last pick of the draft.
I mean, if he is 100%,
and I just
ready
did
to
it.
go,
I mean, I was like, he's there. It's the last pick. Why not?
In that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you've got a guy, like Andrew Luck who has potential to be a top 10 quarterback, but there's no guarantee though. So I mean, if
he's 100%, he's probably going to be up there. So why not?
So he has the potential to be a quarterback 1 for sure if he's 100% healthy. It's just is he going to be 100% healthy? So
no one knows.
So 15th round, I ended up taking the Saints defense. Wrapped that one out. I just felt like they were the best defense available. So I think their defense was really good last year, and they're going to be, I think they're just going to continue to get better. There's a lot of young guys at key positions to continue to help them. So who did you wrap out your mock draft out with?
Marquise Lee.
Marquise Lee. I mean, he is the wide receiver 1 there in Jacksonville. So
potential.
Bortles is eventually going to have to throw to somebody. I mean, he can't throw to Austin Seferian-Jenkins every time.
He could.
I mean, he could.
Then Jack Doyle and Chris Boswell closed the draft.
See, Jack Doyle and Andrew Luck are going way late where did Hilton go?
T.Y. Hilton, he went up in like the 3rd or 4th.
4th round, 4th pick.
People are holding tight to him being in that
Well,
3rd or 4th round.
he was boomer bust too last year with Brissett.
I put him in the same concept as he's like Tyreek Hill in my opinion.
Well,
in
that
the
one
concept,
game he had like 30, and he jumped him all the way up to wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
yeah.
For
Well,
like 2 weeks.
I just think that him and Hill both have question marks at the quarterback position, and then those guys are being drafted too early with potential question marks.
I'm still not sold on Andrew Luck.
I'm not either.
They're saying he keeps saying every week, I have no shoulder pain, everything's fine, but
You see him, he still winces, though. I saw him in that video when he rolled out and threw not a real football. He threw a high school football, and you can kind of tell he wasn't 100%. It's just like...
I just want to see him in preseason. I want to see him get hit. I want to see all that. Because that O-line is still rumpky.
I mean, they tried to solidify it, but, I mean, it's still... There's a lot of question marks, so...
Oh, how I've missed Blackburn's official diagnosis. Rumpke.
Rumpke, straight trash.
You guys don't know what that means. It means trash.
Trash. Okay, well, that was the mock
people might
draft
not
that
know.
we did this week. So, yeah, I mean, I think that what I'm seeing is certain guys' ADPs are rising quicker than others, and I see other guys kind of sliding just because of, like, Ingram's. Ingram has actually stayed pretty consistent around that 5th round, ADP-wise. I mean, drafting in mocks, I've seen him. He's going 4th round earliest, but right around 5th, 6th round.
Well, if you could do what Thacker did and get a Mark Ingram in the 4th round, 3rd, 4th round, whatever,
For
5th,
yeah.
even better. And you can get down in the 10th, 11th round and get a Ty Montgomery or somebody like that can hold you over till he gets back. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not reaching for anybody because he's suspended, and you're holding true to the ADP.
true. Because outside of Kamara for the first however many games that Mark Ingram's not playing, I'm not 100% sold on any of these guys. I'm not saying that they couldn't have good games, but on a consistent basis, there's no way I'm drafting any one of those guys. West, Scott, I'm not drafting those guys. And it's not because they're not
no.
talented. It's just because Kamara and Michael Thomas are going to be your main focal points with Benjamin Watson trickled in there. So, all right. Well, that's all we got for today's show. We want to say thanks again to all of you guys for tuning in to today's show. And we want to say thank you to Thacker for stepping in and handling the mock draft.
Thanks, buddy.
So...
You're all welcome.
So we just want to tell you guys, make sure you check out the site, thehateful8ff.com, where you can check out our articles and apparel. Follow our personal accounts at jpickleTH8FF, at jblackburnTH8FF, at ftrimTH8FF.
Hashtag Frank sucks.
And don't forget, for those random moments that you want to talk to Thacker, he does still have his Twitter account active at jthackerTH8FF.
It depends. I'm hardly ever on it. I posted something yesterday,
the
and that
first
was my
time in,
first post since February.
There you go.
I have 180 tweets, and I've had it for 2 years.
There you go.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, if you ever want to get a mock draft with Thacker, there you go. You can tweet at him.
Yeah, I'll smoke you. Let's go. Come on.
Don't forget to join the Average Joe Nation via our Patreon tab on the site, where you can sign up and order the 2000 draft loadout, which is now active and available. So make sure you get in there and order that. Finally, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And anything else before we wrap out?
Nope.
All right, we'll see you guys.
I haven't got to do this in a long time.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
One more time. There ain't no one like these three. You know you just heard Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli. Give the goods talking about nothing but fantasy football. Yeah, it's your year to dominate and to wear that ring. Prepare for the draft and dial in on your craft. Quarterback, the first round is a good choice, you ask? This guy's got first round pick, a favorite? Not so fast. He failed to tune into Hateful Eight. He's a chump finishing last.